Welcome to our channel. I hope you enjoy the information.
Okay. It's a kind of exciting. This is an exciting video. And the reason being, we are now celebrating KaraLee's 90 days of sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't even know where to begin because it's kind of exciting. Let's let Mom talk first.
Actually, you know what? I was just going to say something. You should be in the middle.
No, Mom's our pillar.
All right.
Mom's the pillar of us here.
Well, I'm pretty proud of this young lady. We have gone through many, many, many ups and downs. Some of them really scary when she's been in detox, detox mainly. We, as a family, had a couple really bad scares where she was taken to the hospital, went into anaphylactic shock, etc. And then Carmen's idea came about, which I was totally shocked on, and am totally so happy this has happened. It has brought everyone so much closer. We've got KaraLee back again. We've been missing her for quite a while.
I have a really, actually, I think it's an important question, but the number of times that you were expecting her to come visit you or you were going to visit her, I'm sure you had trepidation every time because you didn't know what you were going to be seeing or coming up against.
Absolutely.
Do you still have that?
No, I don't.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Not even the first time?
Actually, you know what? No, I have to rephrase that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Because on this weekend when we went away, I got sick and she got very scared that I relapsed.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because they couldn't get a hold of me for one day.
Okay.
So yes, I'm sorry, Leah, you are totally right.
So something still sits.
So there is something still back here. I quite often try and push it away thinking, and actually there was another time right here at Carmen's. She was in a bad mood and needed time for herself and went into the bathroom and locked the door.
Uh-oh.
That has always been a bad sign. So
I could hear her outside the door.
so not to start with.
Oh yes, right away.
And I tried not to think of it. I thought, no, KaraLee was fine. Everything is fine. And I'm trying to watch a movie and I keep looking upstairs. Has the door opened yet? And I couldn't stop myself. I had to go up. KaraLee!
Every couple minutes, I'm like, get away! I'm just trying to have some downtime right now.
So no,
but you understand where that comes
yeah,
from,
for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
So no, that fear I get, I thought I didn't until you asked me. And yeah, I guess it still is there.
Would it make sense when you need to have that alone time or off time to just let people know that's what you're doing?
Yeah.
So that's good. That's a coping.
Actually, that's a
coping thing. You
really
need to
good
let people know.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise we'll all get scared.
Even with that, I think it's still going to take some time. Like,
Yeah, because you're learning how to navigate things differently now too. And,
Right.
But understand that there's a team behind you. They're going, okay, what are you doing?
yeah.
Well, I think part of it is too, we as a family have gone through this with her so many times.
Where I've lied before. And
Yeah.
And it's, you try so hard to think, okay, she's telling the truth this time. But in the back of your head, it's going, you don't. Oh, sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we,
Yeah. It's, from my perspective, I'm just so happy I'm alive on this earth to experience this and witness seeing KaraLee rejoin our boat, our family.
Yeah.
It seemed like we had a missing link for a couple decades, for sure the last decade, and it's really affected us all because we are a very close family. And having KaraLee down and out, whether she was involved in our lives at that time specifically or not, we always had this
Disconnection.
disconnection, but such a connection still.
Right.
And having her back on the team has made all of our lives a little more smooth now, actually a lot more smooth. And
No more tightrope.
Yeah.
it's phenomenal just to be around to see this. And I'm just shocked at how well it's going, and I'm shocked at how well we're still getting along. We're still living in the same household.
Yeah, you look like y'all hate each other. Right?
Hey, after my holiday, I couldn't wait to get home. And I'm sure they were all worried about if I was coming back or not. But I honestly, I couldn't wait to get back to my routine and get back to Carmen and get back on track. Because when you're not here, it's still hard to follow your routine, especially on a vacation.
But we have to allow ourselves that too. So it's good that you kind of dip your toe into that and experimented with that a little bit, and you were okay.
Yeah. Totally.
And you realized what you missed at the same time.
Right.
And it's shocking to all of us as to how KaraLee is not just not an addict at this point, but how she's surfing that urge of, you know, not really even having the urge to surf. And I thought we were going to have a lot of waves to surf, and they're not there. And that's what I'm having a really hard time just actually I guess understanding, believing it. Because we were taught that our whole lives that once you're an addict, you're always an addict and you're always going to have that urge. And I mean, that didn't seem like that's very fair. Like, that's not fair. She's free of this. And maybe you can express a little more, KaraLee, talk a little more about that, because I'm just kind of sitting here talking about what I'm witnessing, but maybe you can just share that a little bit, because it's pretty phenomenal.
Right. Yeah, I was expecting the same thing. I wasn't expecting it to be as easy as it's been going. And it's not been that easy, but it's not been that hard either. It's just getting into a new routine, a new lifestyle. And with it being as easy as Carmen's made it for me, it's been an easy transition compared to what it usually is for me. And for other people, like, lots of times you get off or leave detox. Sometimes you get right into a rehab. Then where do you go? Where do you go if you don't get into rehab right away? Like, you're just clean for a couple weeks and then, boop. Yeah, there's nothing, like, there's no routine to follow. There's no safe haven to go to. There's no nothing. So having that support that I had is definitely been my backbone through everything. And being on Carmen's program, with the vitamins, the food, the getting rid of the prescriptions that I was on, probably causing me a whole bunch of other problems, and the lifestyle that she's allowed me to have here has been everything, like everything all together, and dropping my friends too.
Exactly.
Let's see
your sleeve.
Strong
is beautiful. How'd you know? I kind of want to step away a little bit from vitamins and focus more on nutraceuticals, because there's a huge difference between the two. Because it almost sounds flimsy when you say, "Oh, my vitamins." Yes, they are technically vitamins, but I want to focus more on the word nutraceutical.
Yeah, and very specific to KaraLee. She was 100%. I guess non-functional. We call it mutated in our world, but we'll say non-functional. So her DNA wasn't getting the right instructions for her body to function correctly her whole life. So this simple, insightful DNA report for her was very, very clear as to what we needed to do for her mental health and to help her body just function at its best. And there's so much more to learn yet, guys. Like, we know a lot. We've been at this for a couple decades, but we're learning every single week about how to use this information even more. And I'm really excited just to see how long KaraLee can go, because not I don't believe she's gonna relapse. Actually, I really just want to see what she's going to do with herself. Because it's like she was kind of, I'm going to call it dead brain for many, many years. And it's like a light switch just went off, and she's reading books and she's self-motivated. She wants to take the DNA certification. She wants to learn all about what this is, why it's working. She's confident. She's happy. She's all these things that most regular people walking around us just are even struggling with. And she went from really a bottom rock place to.
So why are we here?
KaraLee is here detoxing and going through her rehabilitation recovery program after 20 years of being in and out of drugs her entire life. She got addicted to drugs when she was, started when she was 9, addicted by 11. She cleaned up while she was pregnant with her son. And outside of that time of her being pregnant, for about a few months after that, she's been struggling with addiction to opioids, fentanyl, methamphetamine, heroin is her hardest addiction now. She's been deep in that addiction for the last probably 6 years.
Wow.
She's tried to detox over 40 times and tries very hard. She's always wanted to get better, but the programs that were laid out for her unfortunately weren't made specifically for her. So soaring above what normal is in the world right now within 90 days, and not any doctor's special detox. We're not doing a bunch of counseling. We're not doing a bunch of group therapy. We're just really focusing on getting her body functioning better. And sure, I'm a good support as a sister, but I mean, she's had the best psychologist in the world working with her before, and it didn't work. So, you know, you got to really question, I really question like how this is happening so easy. And can you talk a little bit about the urges, KaraLee, like honestly, like the cravings or urges that you're comparing?
Well, at the beginning of everything, like, I don't know if you remember, but I said, I can't remember how many days in it was.
Day 5.
But, oh yeah, that I was really unsure if this was going to work. And I was really doubting myself. That's probably natural. But
That's how many times have you done this now?
like 40 at least. Just like clinical detoxes. And yeah, like I was really unsure about how this is all going to go and unsure of myself. But after the first couple weeks, I don't even remember having a craving or an urge. And usually, like, actually, I don't even know if I've gone this long sober in the last 6 years. I don't think I have.
Yeah, I remember. I said you mentioned to me the only time you've been sober is when you were pregnant.
Yeah. And
so we have to get what, six more months, okay?
Yeah. And yeah, so I can't. It's hard to say anything about the cravings other than I really haven't had any. And
your mind doesn't go there.
My mind does not go there at all. And it's really weird when I think about it because it's like, how did that change? Like, I'd be like so automatic to just think that way, and there's no other option. And then now it's like, that's not even an option to think that way.
Well,
so it's
so
really
something in the chemistry.
Yeah.
I like to use that word. Something in your brain changed for you to not make that choice or require that choice, need that choice, anything. It's just.
Yeah, and to be honest, like I've had a lot of friends pass away since September, even since I started thinking about getting clean and everything, and it kind of really scares me to be the even thought of me relapsing, because I'm like, well, if I relapse one more time, that can be my last time. Because usually all the times that I overdose is when I get clean and then I go out again.
Yeah.
And so maybe just that in itself, the accountability is now being on the internet.
Ooh, yeah.
And telling all these people about all these things that I'm doing, like so holding myself accountable to that, and my family and everybody who supported me and myself. And
I want the viewers to understand too that you went through Christmas, which there's always family strife and and I got to be a part of that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this part.
You've lost friends. You had some teeth pulled.
Yeah.
You broke up with your boyfriend and you got back together.
Yeah.
But just those emotional...
Had broken ribs. Lost my license.
And you were still cleaning up your life.
Yeah.
Because you had new coping mechanisms.
What does her decision-making process just seem to almost turn on like a light switch? It's like, okay, so what turned her decision-making process on? What turned on her ability to make decisions and cope with things instantly? Like
knowing my DNA and turning it on with nutraceuticals.
Well, Thanks for watching. Now let's get body by your DNA. The links are below.